It's good to see you back once again. Thank you for joining us on another episode of M&A Ambassadors Becoming the USP, the Ultimate Sales Professional. Now, we had started talking about objections and the differences in the 4 kinds of resistances. Today, I want to start a mini-series on different objection handling techniques that you could use when you face clients raising challenges or difficult questions. So I'll do these over the next few episodes because there are quite a few exciting ones, proven ones, which will actually help you stay in control. So the first technique I want to talk of is a universal objection handling technique. In fact, it's a very simple technique. It's so subtle, you wouldn't even think it were a technique. And it's 100 years old, but it still works every time. It's called the feel, felt, found. Now, we call it a universal technique because this technique can be used for any objection that will be raised. And I'll give you a couple of examples, right? Now, what does the feel, felt, found do? The first part of the technique, I know how you feel, is empathy. Because when people are raising objections, their mind is closing out. You want to open the mind again. So it's a great empathizer. I know how you feel. So it expresses empathy. The second part of the technique is some of my best investors initially felt the same. So it's trying to give a validity that, hey, what you're saying actually makes sense. That's reassuring. And it gets the person to be open to what you're saying because they don't see you as defensive. And then the third part is, here's what they found. So you go third party before you give the answer. So let's say the client raises a particular objection, any particular objection. They might turn around and say, I'm not convinced that this community will actually give a good return. So I would simply take the name of the client. I'd say, Ahmed, I know how you feel. Some of my best investors initially felt the same. Here's what they found. That community in particular appreciated 12.5% in just the first 6 months since the launch. That's the reason why so many people are investing in it. So that's an example of using the feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. Some of my best clients initially felt the same. Here's what they found. Now, if you're a broker in the secondary market and you're selling a home, you can still use the technique. I know how you feel. Some of the families who I've helped find homes initially felt that way. Here's what they found. Or, I know how you feel. Some of the families I work with, families like yours, felt the same. Here's what they found. Let's look at another objection to see the feel, felt, found being universal. It might be a concern about the economies around the world are actually quite sensitive. They're shaking right now. So I would simply say again, Ahmed, I know how you feel. Some of my best clients initially felt the same. But here's what they found. Dubai currently, or the UAE currently, is the second most stable economy in the world, and that's the reason why they are continuing to invest, because they can see the security for their future investments. So again, using feel, felt, found. Anything, it might be projects are delayed. I know how you feel. Some of my best clients initially felt the same. Here's what they found. So the feel, felt, found, a very nice universal technique, simple to use, practice it a few times, and you can deal with any objection using this technique. Now, the second technique I would like to talk about on this video is called the 1, 2, 3 benefits technique. The 1, 2, 3 benefits technique is a strategy where you will bring 3 benefits together because it's hard for the client to challenge them. If you use only one benefit, he can attack it. If you use 2, he can quickly identify which is the lesser value and he will question that. But when you use 3 benefits, he has to in his mind compare between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and 1 and 3. And that's just too much to do in a conversation, especially if you have a question at the end of the 3 benefits. So here's an example. If the client says, I think the price is too high. So I would simply use a neutralizer first. So the objection, your price is too high. Ahmed, we price based on lifestyle and performance. The reason why clients prefer investing with us is because we offer the highest returns, premium quality, and a signature address that everybody would love to have. How would you like to move ahead with that? So you always end with the question, or does that answer your question satisfactorily? Okay, so here's the technique again. We price based on lifestyle and value. That's just a generic, just a neutralizer that you use. Our clients invest with us because they have realized that we offer the highest long-term returns, premium quality, and a signature address that they all want. How would you like to go ahead? So it's a combination of three. Every time you use the pattern of three, clients tend to accept it. There's a psychological connect that we make with everything that comes in patterns of three. By the way, the first technique, the feel, felt, found, was also a pattern of three. I'll leave you with just two techniques on this video. Practice them a little bit, try them, and let us know how they worked for you. I want to thank you for joining us on this episode of M&A Ambassadors, Becoming the USP, the Ultimate Sales Professional.